Breaking news, we may have seen the last of future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols in Major League Baseball. The Angels have designated Pujols for assignment in the final year of that monstrosity of a deal, a 10-year, $253 million contract. He's already hit the 3,000 hit mark. He hit the 600 home run mark, and now all the way up to 667. Three-time MVP, two-time World Series champion for the St. Louis Cardinals. And Albert Pujols is done as a member of the Angels. The Angels releasing the following statement on behalf of owner Artie Moreno. The Angels organization proudly signed Albert Pujols in 2011 and are honored that he has worn an Angels jersey for nearly half of his Hall of Fame career. All right, let's bring in former Marlins front office man and president David Samson here. David, you were with the Marlins when Albert Pujols was tearing everybody apart in the National League. I'm going to take you to the present first, and then we can go back. I mean, if you're the Angels, I'm just thinking, okay, tonight they're playing 9:40. It's the last game of the night. Wouldn't it have been great to know that he was going to be released and to kind of give him a send-off there in Los Angeles before this happened? Why didn't that happen?
That sounds really good in the movies or with a fairy book story, but that's not how it works in baseball. Life is harsh. Roster spots are hard to come by. And it's not as though the Angels are the Tigers. The Angels are trying finally to compete. They're trying to get Mike Trout into the playoffs and actually get a series win, if not a ring. And Albert Pujols was simply taking up space. What a horrible way to describe the player Albert Pujols. But the fact is today, that's what he is, a player taking up space.
And I think, or at least I feel like back at the time when he came up as a free agent, and, the Cubs were out there looking at him. I know you were looking at him there in Florida. Angels were looking at him. St. Louis fans, I knew a lot of them. They were they were okay with it because they knew that it would be a contract that would not be received well the last 5 years. So when you look at it, and all said and done here with the Angels and what they gave him, how is this contract going to be remembered?
Artie Moreno can say what he wants in a statement, but the fact is the signing of Albert Pujols did not work for the Angels. They didn't get their TV deal done because Albert was an Angel. They didn't get a World Series ring. They got some performance early, but it wasn't enough to make any sort of impact. And in that statement, it's very interesting. He talks about how proud he is that Albert was an Angel for almost half his career. When he goes into Cooperstown, there's going to be an STL on his hat, as there should be, because I hope people remember when he was a Cardinal, he was unstoppable. Maybe the greatest hitter I'd seen, certainly with Miguel Cabrera, the top two right-handed hitters I'd ever seen in baseball.
On Baseball Reference, which is 99.9% of the time is always right, they list Albert Pujols' age as 41. What is it in actuality?
So we never asked him his age. We knew he was older, and it became such a big deal when I talked about it, Nothing Personal. It really was not a big deal to us. It never came up. We thought we had a deal with him, a 10-year deal at about $201 to $203 million. And we knew that Artie Moreno, the Cubs were out at that point. We thought there was a chance that Artie could step in, but we really thought that he'd choose Miami. And we went to bed thinking that, and we woke up and were told by his agent, Dan Lozano, that he had chosen to go to the Angels. Some people in our organization were relieved. I was not one of them because I was focused on the first 5 years going into a new ballpark, and we thought Albert Pujols would be perfect at first base at Marlins Park to open it up. As it turns out, it didn't happen, and the rest is history. And in terms of his age, when he came out of the Dominican, just know that everybody was not telling the truth about how old they were because you wanted to be younger than you were to get more money, more signing bonus. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, Chris, how old he is. He's a Hall of Fame player who just stopped being productive.
What ballot? Is he a home run first ballot Hall of Famer?
If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, I will eat a ballot, Chris. He is a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. No questions asked. Whether he's 50 years old, 45, 41, or 35, it does not matter. Look at what he did over the course of his career. Look where he is in the history of Major League Baseball. You're talking about, and I guess I have to make a list here, probably one of the top 10 hitters of all time.
And never really fell into the whole steroid situation. What do we know about Albert? I mean, he was a man when he came in. And maybe more of a man than we thought he was because he was a little bit older than he said he was. But he came on, and it was right in the middle of the steroid era, and he was hitting like all those other guys like Barry Bonds.
There were a lot of rumors back then. You have to remember, though, that when we first started, talk about the early 2000s into the mid 2000s, steroids were definitely going on. And anytime a player was performing the way Albert was performing, there was a thought. And then you saw some injuries later in his career, which can also have possible ramifications if you've done steroids or HGH. But it was never proven, never got suspended. And again, in 2011, when we were negotiating with him, it never occurred to us to ask him or to talk about it. We knew he'd be productive for the first 4 to 5 years of the deal, and we were willing to pay him $200 million for those first 4 to 5 years. The Angels are not looking at this year as a lost $30 million. They're really looking over the last 10 years and saying, when we signed Albert, we were sure we were going to have a ring.
So, David, is this it? Will we see Albert Pujols on a field again? If so, are there any teams out there that come to mind for you that could use this kind of draw?
I think the only way you see him on a field is if he's doing this, maybe touching his chest, giving some signs. I do not believe he will get another at-bat. I do not believe that he will sign with another team, go into minor league camp, major league camp with a minor league invite even, or a major league invite, whatever way you want to say it. It's not going to happen. Albert Pujols' career is done. What being designated is you have 10 days to trade a player. No one is trading for Albert Pujols right now. You can release the player, and then you have to pay his salary, and that's what's going to happen.
Just spitballing here. Any chance that this thing goes through and then the Cardinals say, all right, final game of the season, we're going to just trot him out for one more at bat? Is there any way that that sort of thing could happen?
If the rules were different and you didn't have to add them to the roster and then take someone off your roster and potentially expose them to waivers where you could lose them, that's a nice movie again, Chris. I think what's more possible is he could sign a one-day contract with the Cardinals during the offseason when there's no roster issues and then immediately retire as a Cardinal and go on the Cardinals retired list. But I really don't think he'll do that. I think he'll go on the Angels retired list, but go into Cooperstown as a Cardinal.
I'm from Iowa, Field of Dreams. I've just got that movie in me, right? That baseball movie. David Samson joining us here on HQ as the Angels designate Albert Pujols for assignment. David says we are not going to see Albert Pujols play another baseball game, but he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. David was wearing the Nothing Personal hoodie. You can check out Nothing Personal, the great popular podcast with David Samson. Download and follow wherever you find your podcasts.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.